Hello and greetings everybody. My name is Camden Long. Welcome to the next video on YouTube. Today I have a very special message and first want to say thanks to Rice James, who is a fellow Palfish teacher. I will be doing a live stream on Zoom, like the Zoom meetup or Zoom meeting on June 2nd. So that will be posted to his YouTube channel, but in honor of this live stream that I will be doing, I want to do a preparation and I'm going to answer 10 questions right now for everybody out there on YouTube. And before I get into that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the clicks, the questions, the comments. They mean the world to me. It's changing my life. And the more, I'm serious, this is the facts. This is how the algorithm works. The more thumbs up that I get, the more commenting in the comment section and questions and things like that, the more activity, then YouTube's gonna push my videos and recommend them to more people who are like teacher, in the teaching career, in the teaching lifestyle, in the teaching business. So that goes for everything that you do, not just, when you're watching my videos, but everything that you're consuming, the way that you engage, right? On all social media and here on YouTube, you're going to get those videos recommended to you, but the more time that you spend engaging with a specific channel, that channel is going to get more of a boost. So let's all make sure that we're making conscious decisions and to support people who are making the world a better place. Now, on to the questions. And these questions will also be featured on the live stream with Rice James and myself on June 2nd. So thanks to everybody who has been patiently waiting for that. Number one, what were you doing before Palfish? So I found Palfish in April 2016. And before that, I was actually living on Little Corn Island of Nicaragua. And I was in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. It was a fantastic experience. It was the most beautiful water that I've ever seen in my life. There was absolutely no gasoline-powered vehicles on the entire island. 600 or 800 people total on the island. Riding bikes, walking, you could walk around the whole island in just a few hours. It was a really magical place. And I went there initially to do cooking in the kitchen, to do like superfoods and vegan food and stuff like that. And the head chef at the resort, who taught me a great lesson at the same time, said that I was not fit to work in the kitchen. And now I had just left Costa Rica with Maximo Nivel, and I had a bit of an issue with the teaching manager, and the teaching manager said that I should never be a teacher again. So I also had to sell my MacBook. And I also had to sell my GoPro to get enough money to survive, like literally. And then when I get to this island, and I don't know anybody there yet, everything is so new. I'm learning how to adapt quite quickly. And then all of a sudden, we'll give you about a week, and then we'll figure out what you want to do. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I can't go back to Costa Rica. I just left Virginia about 4 months ago and said goodbye to my family, and I don't want to come back the second time, with nothing to show forth, no savings, no money, no better opportunity with my career. I didn't know what to do in that moment when the head chef says that you're not fit for being here in the kitchen. You have great work ethic, you're a hard worker, you're very determined, and you improve so much in the week, in the first 5 to 6 days, but it's just not going to work. And I said, okay, great. Well, thank you for this opportunity, and did my best to remain positive. So I worked out a deal with the hotel manager because I did have some experience working with fruit trees and gardening and soil regeneration and things like that through my own research and through personal experience. My dad's a gardener. All my ancestors are farmers from the mountains of Virginia. So it's in my blood. And the two people that I was able to work with were both from Nicaragua. And that was one of the reasons why it was so special, was because I was really able to take my Spanish to super high levels. And I can't say fluent, but I was doing really, really well there, both listening and speaking. And then one day, the two guys that I was working with, we were in charge of about a 1.1, 1.2 acre farm with a greenhouse and fruit trees, over 100 banana and plantain trees. It was truly a really great experience and something very special to be a part of. And then all of a sudden, in one of the meetings, one of the guys that I was working with at the resort was saying, hey, well, Camden is learning a lot of Spanish, and he speaks really good English as well, maybe. And then all of a sudden, just that one comment, people started talking, and then I was starting to teach English, not like teach, but just, take one of the phrases from Spanish and then bring it to English for the two guys that I was doing the farming with. And then we got a whiteboard in the farmhouse, and before I knew it, I was circling nouns and underlining pronouns and teaching the guys and the staff, how to speak English, how to improve their English, because it would be a huge benefit to not only their job, but to their life and to their future. And then I started to start loving teaching, and I love the gardening and farming. I mean, I was outside in nature, just a few steps away from crystal clear Caribbean Sea water. I could go in there every single day. It was super fresh air and just very peaceful. Again, there was a generator on the islands running things. There was no power at some places throughout 6 or 8 hours of the day. Now, as my passion, and when I'm saying all these things, I'm sharing the story with you guys, not on script. And I'm not here to worry about what other people might say about my videos, because I believe in what I'm doing, and I want you guys and gals to believe in what you're doing, and to keep all the naysayers out of your head, and remain positive and believe in yourself and stay focused on your mission. So, what was I doing before Palfish? Well, as I mentioned, the brief little story. And then at that time when I was teaching them on the whiteboard in the farmhouse, I said, you know what? This is a great place. I was, by the way, only making $400 per month. $400 per month. So I stayed there almost 5-6 months, saved all my money, literally 95% of it. And then a couple of days later, I was on Google. I had been searching. I started to have these really amazing spiritual experiences, because on the island you're just surrounded by nature, and I was, had a lot of distractions were out. I was on social media and posting things, but just very disconnected from the rest of the world on this super small island. And it was great medicine. And I started to have these revelations going on inside of myself. And then thankfully, thank God, I found on a Google search Palfish. So when I found Palfish and I read what it was about, it kind of seemed like too good to be true. I'm like, what? I can get paid by the minute just on my phone? Whoa, this sounds like really amazing. So I followed the steps. It was a very different process. Yes, I had to download the application in the beginning, but it was a whole different process of people to talk to, and I completed my profile. So technically I started April 2016 on Palfish, and then 1 week later, after finding Palfish, I had enough courage and confidence in myself and what I was doing, and also made a great connection in Boulder, Colorado, with a couple that came during a yoga detox retreat. So we were growing like herbs, superfoods, and really good fruit trees, because you had all these people, these yoga people coming in with these different retreats and detox retreats, and a lot of, health cleansing and stuff like that. And it's great to be around that because it's great energy. So I made a wonderful connection with some people in Boulder, Colorado. And then I had a friend still in Costa Rica. So, I went on one boat, and then another boat, and then a bus, and then walking, and then I stayed at this hotel one night. It's on my YouTube channel. I have that, like, from Little Corn Island to Boulder, Colorado. I forget the title of the video, but it's It's back in 2016, April 2016. I documented, recorded the whole journey with what I'm talking about. So anyway, it's been a wonderful experience on Palfish. And, you know, I was already teaching. You know, my major was elementary education, but I decided not to complete my bachelor's degree. And it was not an easy decision, but, you know, I didn't want to eventually stay and live and teach at a public school and make a mediocre salary and have so much authority weighing down on me, telling me how I should teach, how I should interpret the curriculum and things like that, you know. And so I decided to just start new, and it was a really rough period, but I can't say that I regret it, because I'm here right now and I'm making an impact in your life right now. And you're making an impact in my life right now because you give me the motivation to keep going. And it means so much to me. And my eureka moment, I like how Rice James said this. What was my eureka moment? It came in stages, really. There was like two things. And the first part was November 2016, because I was at a education center on one of the islands here in Thailand. And, you know, the universe has a really interesting way. You know, God works in mysteries and in mysterious ways, because we were on this super beautiful island, Koh Tao, you know, Koh Tao. Amazing snorkeling, super beautiful water. Again, it was very remote and everything, but the issue was the internet connection speeds, you know, because it was off and on. You know, you're in a very isolated island. If this was 3 years ago, maybe it's a little bit better now. But my eureka moment was when I got fired from this education center. And I knew and felt it was coming. I was only there for like about 4 weeks. And it just, you know, things are just not meant to be sometimes, you know, and you have to accept that. And when that happens, you have to immediately move to the next solution. And the only solution that I had was Palfish. Because when I first moved to the island, I was making a decent amount of money every day teaching on my laptop with another company. And that's like now one of my top 10 videos. You know, I got fired teaching English online. And I did that video in Chiang Mai right outside by the pool. And so I got let go from this company, and then the education center says goodbye, and I'm like, whoa. So like everything is pulling me towards Palfish, you know. And I had been quite inactive on Palfish. My phone had dropped when I got to the island, and after I got, you know, let go by the one company, and then my phone dropped and it wasn't working, and I really didn't need to teach online, because I said, okay, I'm working at this education center and that will just be my main source of money. It's not a lot. It's like a little over $1,000, you know, nothing compared to what I can get now. It was just enough to get by. And my wife, you know, my girlfriend at the time, she was like taking care of the kids at the school too. So she had they paid her a little bit. So we just saved everything we had, and we had a, you know, nice little chill life on the beach. And I had kind of said goodbye to the whole social media thing and just being on my mobile device. And it lasted for a good while. And I even went to Kuala Lumpur. Yes. Kuala Lumpur. No, sorry. Penang. I went to Penang in Malaysia to do my visa run, and I didn't take a phone with me. I can't believe that. I didn't take any pictures. All I brought with me was my laptop, because the phone was not working, and I didn't want to, because I didn't have the money. Like, you know, if I would have had an extra, it was like 5,000 or 6,000 baht, so like, you know, $180, $200 to fix the phone on the island. And I had to save the little bit of money that we had just for emergency, and then for going to Malaysia for my visa run trip, food and, a cheap hotel or something. And then I get back and then all this happened. So when November came, that day came, I felt inside, I was like, wow. I've never been to Chiang Mai, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give it everything I got. Kim, let's come, when you want to come with me, don't worry about, the job, we'll just give a 1 week notice and then we're off the island, And we had no bookings in Chiang Mai. We flew straight into Chiang Mai on a one-way ticket. And when we got there, we walked through some like soys and like back roads and stuff, after the taxi dropped us off from the airport. Stayed at a pretty good hotel, and I had a wonderful conversation with a good friend, Alan, from China. And that was the first like free talk connection that I started to build with somebody. And it just, as I'm saying this, I've never really been able to digress or even share this with people or even think about it so much myself, but it just makes me feel so grateful inside. And it's hard to believe that 3 years has already passed on Palfish. It's hard. I can't believe it. I really can't, how fast time has gone. It's been going so fast. And if you guys are not careful out there, life's going to pass you by and time's going to get you. So that's why it's so important to learn how to use what's available to us in this world. Like, that's why Gary Vee is such a big inspiration, because he says, okay, not everybody's meant to make videos. Some people are made to write. Not everybody's made to write. Some people are made to just take the photos or do the video. But you got to find something that you can start making on the side as extra financial income. And if it's $5 a month, it's $5 a month. I remember my YouTube channel when I was living on little corner island of Nicaragua. It was like, I think like $4 or $5, and I would look at it every morning like 5 times a day. I had to stop watching it because I couldn't believe that I was actually bringing a little bit of money in just through uploading videos on YouTube. It was like surreal. It was like, what? This is what's available to our reality now in this world. And, I created a WordPress. It was doing really good. Then I stopped it. I think, a lot of things, I don't regret this, but I don't want to say if I could change either, because I believe, everything leads you up to where you need to be. But, I just want to make the message to you that you've got to find something that you can start making financial income on the side. You have to learn how to do that. And there's a wonderful array of places to do that. You could create, WordPress. You can get money through like Google AdWords and, stuff like that. And then on YouTube here, you have to create, I think YouTube is the best, because you have to learn how to create a stream of income. And it's something that you are passionate about, something that you love to do. And I love to share with people because I've realized the full power of it. When the stories that some people have told me recently about what's been going on in their life, and now they're on Palfish, or now they're teaching abroad, or wherever they're teaching, and that these videos have a real impact in people. And some people just watch these videos and put it on audio. People don't even, like watch video of me. They just are watching it through breakfast and lunch and dinner, because I'm improving the way that I can relate a message to people, because I want to be able to relate to more people. And the more that you can learn how to relate to people, you're going to become more successful with what you do. And that's why teaching English online it's so natural for me now, because when I'm teaching my students, I'm a very adaptable type of person. And that's actually one of the questions in here that I'm going to be doing the live stream. And one of the great things about, being able to adapt is you're having a student one-on-one. So you're going to have one type of student this way, and then boom, the next one could be age 4, the next one could be age 14, and another one 8. They could be at all different types of levels and have different pronunciation, issues, or not being able to fully, understand basic English questions. It could be an array of things that you need to be aware of and quickly, and how to adapt and then make that student feel happy. That's why I've used photos so much in my lessons, because I see the results and it works great for me. And then at the same time, you have to learn how to time when you're going to show photos and how long the photo stays on the screen, and then go back to the lesson. I use it as a lesson enhancer, using photos that I have saved from, like, using Google Images and stuff like that. Google Images is awesome. I sometimes use it in the middle of my lesson with some students who understand, okay, I'm going in behind the application, but it's to translate, not to translate visually, because it's great for them to see the word, but if they can see perhaps some kind of like different photo, something that's a little bit more graphic rich, or to your liking, something that you can explain to the student well, then if you use that, you're going to make the student make a connection. It's going to be a stronger connection with the vocabulary. And I've never really said it like that on video before, but that's the truth. And again, you have to do things at your own discretion. You have to be willing to take risks as a teacher. And just, I say that because if I do everything 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, number one, that's not the type of person that I am. I'm a very dynamic type of person. And then not everybody is like that either in this world. Some parents their students that I teach, parents love the pictures that I show, because they know that it's enhancing the lesson and expanding their free talking ability. And as I've mentioned, many parents, they want that. So, I'm trying to figure out why so many people are unsuccessful as online English teachers. I'm really trying to figure that out. And the messages that I get from people, oh, I didn't pass the interview, or I'm not getting extra bookings now. What's going on? And, I check out their profile and it's just a lot of pictures and stuff like that. But what's going on in the lesson? It's like, seems like a pretty reliable person, and like they're very passionate, they're very eager to teach. So what's going on? And perhaps, you have to be a leader. You have to go look up the definition of a leader. And it starts with, that's why I posted those 2 previous videos. They were like a little over 3 minutes long each, because I was in exercise fitness mode, and I was just having these ideas come off, and I was like, you know what? I just need to upload this. I need to share this message with people. And it's so true. You have to be willing to take care of yourself, outside of the lesson, because this is a marathon. As Teacher Russell, thank you very much, reminded me of that. This is a marathon. We're not running a sprint. And the marathon is the game of life. And, I just want everybody out there to make smart decisions. Make smart decisions for your future. Things that are just going to be short term, or are things going to be long term? And there's a balance in a way that you can get the best of both worlds. And it's crazy, right? How quickly our lives have changed. Like, can you imagine having to go back and teach at a school now? You're making 30% of what you make teaching online, and you have to work a lot harder, and you have more responsibilities and a whole lot of other stuff added on top of that. And now, so quickly, in less than 2 years, so many people's lives have literally changed. Like tens of thousands of people who are online English teachers now from all over. It's like a total life changer, a total game changer. So I just really encourage everyone who is interested to teach online to go for it and give it your best shot, and be optimistic with it. And also, you've got to learn communication skills. You've got to learn how to listen to people and how to understand body language on the screen and the way people speak, the way that you speak. You have to be very aware of how you're moving your mouth, your lips, your tongue, where it's placed on the tooth. You know, I do things that are probably some people can't do. They're not made for it. When I used to do my live streams on Palfish, even my Chinese assistant said, I used to watch your live streams, but they were like boring. I would just like leave. But the 15 or 20 that were always watching it, you know, my live stream, they were improving their English. The way that I articulate the AR verbs, the short vowels and the long vowels. And you've got to be able to find what works best for you. And again, you know, so many people, they're getting frustrated about the kids' official course. I'm not getting enough bookings and things like that. Well, you know, you also should be putting extra effort into free talk and keeping your rate low. Like, I know people want to make good money then that when it's available, and when you see other people who are doing really successful and stuff like that. There's also a lot of factors, you know. Nobody got to where they are by something that happened overnight. You know, it takes long time. It takes years and years of dedication and decades of, you know, adjustments and constant adjustment and constant evolution. So let me wrap this up. I would say advice for new teachers is to focus on yourself, focus on your followers, focus on everyone who is giving you attention. You know, so often we're trying to chase people and get attention from people who are not interested. But if we would just take the time, that's what so many people are like. People will get like a comment, like maybe 1 or 2 comments from somebody on their video, like here on the YouTube, and they think, oh man, I just had 15 people watch, you know, like one person asked a question. Okay, like that's 15 people that gave you their time, and even somebody left a comment. So do your best to establish a relationship in some way with that one comment. And if you keep going, you know, it's not about people who quit. The reason why I look at The Rock, you know, The Rock's career. I remember I was 14 years old, read his autobiography, and the way that the failures that he had to go through, and now he's like 50 years old now, you know, and he's top of his game, the best actor in the world, you know. Everybody wants a piece of The Rock. And he doesn't quit. That's the thing. You got to keep going, and you got to keep evolving yourself and enjoy life. You know, you got to enjoy life, and that's why I can sit here for 27 minutes, 28 minutes now, and if nobody's watching, that's okay, because I'm getting things out of my head. I'm getting things off my chest. And I encourage all of you people out there to do the same thing. Like, write about it, talk about it, record it, take a picture of it. You got to find your own spot. You got to find your own lane. I've said that, and you've heard that from other people. So just very grateful for this experience on YouTube, and I'm hoping to hear more success stories. I guess that's where I'm trying to go. And again, Nomad Zach, I think it's great that you're going to be starting your YouTube channel and talk about your experiences. And all online English teachers and people teaching English abroad, share what you're doing, you know, abroad. Find your own little piece of imagination. And you got to keep the dream alive. You know, you have to keep the dream alive. And anyway, I got a lot more lessons today. I was going to finish all the questions here, but 30 minutes, I'm going to let my voice rest. It's been a great time sharing this with everybody. And I look forward to the live stream on Zoom with Rice James and myself. So everybody out there, have a great day. And thank you so much for everything. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Stay happy, stay healthy, and right here, stay wealthy. Adios, amigos.